is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Radio 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Yeah! Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on.
Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ is brought to you by Assurance Home Care, Burger King, Easy Car Sales, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats, then get busy on they. See, that's how that Chateau made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go on and put your hands up. When times is hard, you stand up. LUP the man, cause a brand that the fans trust. So even if they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on all night. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on. One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the father that's there. Three in the air for the kids in the ghetto. Four for the kids that don't wanna be there. None for the trying to hold him back. Five in the air for the teachers not scared to tell those kids that's living in the ghetto that the holding back that the world is theirs. Yeah, the world is yours. I was once that little boy, terror world. Now I'm on a world tour. I will give up everything, even start a world war for these ghetto girls and boys. I'm rapping around the world for Africa to New York, Haiti then I detour, Oakland out to Oakland, Gaza Strip to Detroit. Say hip hop only destroy. Tell them look at me, boy. I hope your son don't have a and never be a D-boy. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on all night. Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on. So no matter what you've been through, no matter what you into, no matter what you see, when you look outside your window, brown grass or green grass, picket fence or barbed wire, never ever put them down. You just lift your arms higher, raise them to your arms.
You got it logged and loaded to the Wednesday, February 11th edition of Talking Heads. Naughty along with MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. And today we're going to jump right in. Today is Wednesday. And we have our special guest, and we're going to have a great candid conversation with him. None other than the F&M's ratified candidate for the brand new St. James constituency F&M deputy leader, Mr. Shannon Don Cartwright. Good to see you, Shannon. Welcome back to the show.
It's great to be here. Good afternoon to both of you, and good afternoon, Bahamas. It's always a pleasure to be here.
There you go. Good. Man, where the fountain of youth you sipping out of, man? Come on, what's going on? Bring my cup next time you come, please.
Boy, listen, I don't know if I feel that way, but I'll take that any day.
There you go. Well, again, I'm good to see you. Glad
to see you too.
To have you here. How's everybody as far as the family and everything? You doing well?
Yeah, everybody is good. I mean, recently...
To on the passing of your stepdad.
Yeah,
how close you all were.
Thank you very much. I was just about to say, because he was well known in the Bahamian community, former police officer, businessman. Just grateful that I had the opportunity to have him in my life. And he's passed on now, and we're grateful to all of the outpouring of support from his colleagues, former colleagues on the police force, his political alliances, and just so many people in the Catholic community, of which he was a very strong member.
True, again, too.
Yeah, so
That's a big community, boy.
yeah. So just very, very grateful for the support given to my mother in particular and the entire family in general. So just grateful.
And big things. I mean, obviously, we need to talk about St. James. We need to talk about things going on in the country. We need to talk about the upcoming election and some of the concerns that voters have.
Right.
We can talk about a lot of things, immigration. But let's start with St. James. Obviously, you were ratified for the new constituency of
Yep.
St. James. Tell us a little bit more about that. What does it comprise? Some people still don't know exactly where it comprises and so on and so on. Oh, it's out west.
Yeah. Well, actually, it touches out west. But
Right.
It's a huge constituency that extends from McKinney Avenue on the western side, on its eastern border, the constituency that is, all the way to South Ocean on its eastern border as well. So it's a huge constituency. And but let me just say first, as it relates to this transition to St. James from St. Barnabas, I continue to be grateful and honored for the opportunity, even now, to serve as the Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas. They gave me opportunity in 2017. We've become like family, and we'll always be family. Many persons, adopted mothers, adopted uncles, aunts, etc., and have forged a lot of good relationships, and we will forever be family. Now, obviously, political parties make decisions depending on changes and modifications, and in this case, the Boundaries Commission would have added 2 new constituencies, one being St. James, the other being Bimini and the Berry Islands, and so political parties, both parties, make decisions based on who they feel is best suited to go into, in this case, these 2 new seats. St. James is not unfamiliar to me. It's not foreign to me. I grew up in the area in St. James, in particular Mount Pleasant. Grew up there for most of my life, early years. And who I am today is a lot because of that community out there. So again, grateful to the people of St. Barnabas. Looking forward to the new opportunity this provides, just the opportunity to continue to serve. But St. Barnabas will always be a part of me, and I will always be a part of them.
What do you say to critics that say that you're running? I heard no less than your former leader the other day say that you're running away from that constituency. What would you say to critics that are detractors that say that?
Well, I mean, the reality of it is I accept and respect people's views of how they may interpret something. But the reality of it is we did some good work in St. Barnabas. For instance, the member for Tall Pines, now the member for Tall Pines, he was once in Pine Ridge, and now he's in Tall Pines. Michael Alkides, who ran against me in the last election, he was in Golden Isles, and now he is in St. Barnabas. Political parties make the decisions that they feel best serves the party's interests, and by extension, the overall goals and vision they want to present to the Bahamian people. And for persons who would suggest that I'm running, I push back on that. Capacity. The people of St. Barnabas will always be family to me. And however I can help the people of St. Barnabas from now to the election and beyond, I believe that Senator Jamal Morse, former Senator Jamal Morse, who's the standard bearer for St. Barnabas, will do an excellent job representing the people of St. Barnabas. When he becomes the Member of Parliament, he's somebody who's highly involved with the union movement in the country, so he knows firsthand all of the how important unions are in our country, and just the average Bahamian, and how this government in many respects have continued to assault the working class in our country. And so again, honored to serve as the Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas, and looking forward to the opportunity to serve as the next Member of Parliament for St. James.
I just want to touch on this, only because he's been in the news recently. We see reporting headlines in the dailies today about your former leader, Dr. Minnis, who now says that he will run as an independent in the Killarney constituency, and you're the deputy leader of the Free National Movement. Sure. Is Dr. Minnis still considered a member, having made this announcement, is he still considered a member of the Free National Movement?
Well, I'll answer it. I'll answer it this way. First of all, everybody has the right to choose. In this case, in terms of the political arena, what political path they want to take. Should Dr. Minnis decide to officially go ahead and run against the Free National Movement, it would be an unfortunate thing. We believe he's a former leader, former prime minister, but former leader of our party. There were great things done under the former administration, and I would think that Dr. Minnis and many others would love him to be a part of us continuing administration and the work that they've done. But we are focused on completing the slate. The slate is nearly completed. We are pleased with the men and women and the diversity of skill sets and ideas, and some of the best and brightest in the country that we believe that we're presenting to the Bahamian people. And we do believe that we have the better vision, we believe we have the better team, and we believe we have the better leader for where we have to take the country.
I just want to be clear because I hear your full response, but at the moment that he decides to officially put his hat in the ring based on your constitution, the Free National Movement's constitution, he would cease to be a member of your party. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, there's a process to formalize that.
Right.
There is a process to formalize that.
Okay.
But there is no doubt that should Dr. Minnis or any person who's now a member of the Free National Movement decide to run against the party, it's clear in the Constitution what that decision means.
Okay. So let's switch to some national issues. I'm so happy that you're spending time with us today because a lot is happening, particularly in the realm of healthcare. Let's start there. We've recently seen the action by the nurses, the union speaking out. We've recently seen even comments by the doctors of this country, this concept around trust. The Prime Minister has made that a focal point of what, he's saying on the rally stage, trust me, but they're pushing back saying that the trust isn't there. What do you make of what's happening in our healthcare system right now?
I mean, it is tragic. It is truly tragic, and I believe that the word tragic is an understatement because of the nature of healthcare and how literally is affecting literally the lives of persons who experiencing what's happening in the healthcare system in the country. There is no doubt that there has legacy issues that has transcended all administrations. But just to quote the Dr. Lockhart, who said, in her view, that this is the worst it's been in 22 years.
Yep, she did say that.
She said it's the worst it's been in 22 years, and you're talking about not being able to have supplies. You saw the other day that persons who are dialysis patients and so forth, the challenges that they are having. I mean, you go into the hospital and some of the just an eye observation,
right,
without being a technical person or a doctor or somebody, deeply entrenched in the health profession, you can see issues because you can see that this is not how a hospital
it's
should
supposed
be,
to run.
right? Yeah. Or this is not how the experience should be. And let me just hats off to all of the healthcare professionals who they themselves are working in this environment, and that's why, it was so disturbing when the nurse came out, who came on social media and said, Prime Minister, please, and then she was unceremoniously suspended right after that.
Yeah.
And so, imagine you are a healthcare professional, committed and dedicated to caring for people. This pains you challenge to deal with different issues affecting people on a daily basis.
And now they have issues getting paid to compound it on top of everything else.
Absolutely. And when you juxtapose that with the government talking about surpluses, when the government is spending on travel, $1.1 million on one particular trip.
Azerbaijan.
$280 million on consultants. And so the Bahamian people are trying to figure out there's a great disparity between what the government is trying to sell and what the Bahamian people are experiencing. And anybody in this country, even if you are a PLP supporter, and if you strip away your political biases for just a moment, we know that the country is going in the wrong direction. And there's a serious execution gap between what the government is saying that they are doing and believe they are doing for the Bahamian people and what the Bahamian people are experiencing every single day.
one of the solutions that this government has proposed to the healthcare system and all of the inherent, like you say, legacy problems is to build a brand new specialty hospital. Many Bahamians already have some, they're kind of taken aback based on location alone. They have some concerns there. And then also we learned that, they secured a loan to do this. Meanwhile, people are criticizing the fact that, the Princess Margaret remains in such disrepair. I know your chairman has spoken about this. He says it's a dumb idea.
Right.
What is your thoughts on the fact that the government appears to be moving ahead with this new specialty hospital?
Listen, we've been, the Pintard has been clear, the caucus has been clear. If we just go back 2 steps from what the chairman said, I think what the chairman said yesterday reflects what a lot of Bahamians feel. I went to a town hall meeting the end of last year sometime for the people in the Fort Charlotte area, and our candidate for the area, Travis Robinson, was there. And residents were there, and they were wholly opposed for a number of reasons to this hospital. Not to mention the substantive concern of this is a specialty hospital that does not meet the needs, the overwhelming needs from a priority standpoint in terms of what's happening with the hospital, the present site where the hospital is. As you know very well, the Free National Movement had something in place that was ready to go in the amount of about $90 million.
Right.
You saw recently that even this deal, the deal and how it's crafted, much concern that now it's going to be guided by
Chinese jurisdiction.
So Bahamians are saying, hold on, what? First of all, it's going to cost, acknowledged by the government, it's going to cost Bahamian taxpayers a great deal, and then it's going to be governed by a foreign country. The laws and so forth are going to be governed. The deal itself is going to be governed by a foreign country. So Bahamians are looking at this and make it make sense. Make it make sense. It's just not making sense to the Bahamian people.
The math and the adding ain't adding. The sense ain't sense, and it just don't. Let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads.
Good day.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Naughty and the guests and everybody else and the whole Bahamas and all the Bahamians. But I just wanted to my.
Oh, I think we lost you. Call back.
Call it. Hit us right back. And we'll get you on. I think that's a cell caller. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty, how y'all doing?
What's happening?
Hi.
All right, to get a member of Parliament, Mr. Cartwright.
How you doing?
I don't want my party to ask them getting the same Parliament as PLP's in. What we got to realize in this country, Bahamians don't pay for nothing. We want a world-class thing, but we don't pay for nothing. If we build a hospital, how are we going to get big money from this hospital? Hello?
No.
Let you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, so when we look at it, we want all these world-class things, but we got to pay something. You can't afford to build a $200 or $300 million hospital and no collect nothing for it. You understand me? So we got to draw the line in this country, or all governments will fail at the end of the day because there's so much burden on the country itself and nothing is coming in. So if we decide to build this hospital, you got to get something back.
Thank you.
Understand me? You want to get free service, then you go to the pharmacy, get free medication. That ain't wait for so long.
Thank you so much.
We'll let Mr. Cartwright answer for you, but we get your point now.
Thank you, caller.
Let's get to the other calls real quick, and then we'll let Mr. Cartwright respond to everything. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty.
Hey, what's happening?
Right here, bro. Good day to you, Mary Jane, and Mr. Cartwright.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I thought I was in on this conversation. I appreciate that you took the time, Mr. Cartwright, to come in the studio to answer some of the concerns we have going on in this country. I am in St. James constituency. You and I had a brief conversation. But my thing is that what is the F&M? See, this needs to be articulated to the Bahamian people. F&M going to do about this illegal immigration problem. You and I had a brief discussion on that, but it has yet to be articulated by you or or Mr. Pintard the way forward. Is it going to be the promises you make now, and then if you guys get in, nobody could actually see a clear way of dealing with this illegal immigration problem. I know it takes some time, but
All right,
you
caller. No problem. I'm going to let Mr. Cartwright
Thank you
answer
so
that
much.
and expound on the SHIELD program that Mr. Pintard elaborated on regarding specifically immigration. Let's get to the cell call. Talking heads. Talking heads. Okay.
Okay. All right. So
All right.
let's start with the first caller who talks about Bahamians wanting things and not wanting to pay for it. I would just say this, caller. Bahamians do pay for a lot of the free or what we term government services that we get. We pay our taxes. Obviously, with the new hospital, I think the feasibility report shows that that hospital is going to earn around $2.5 million a year at a cost of about $66 million a year to taxpayers. So obviously, there is going to be a need for continued funding directly and indirectly from Bahamian taxpayers. But we'll ask you this, Mr. Cartwright. First of all, do we know how we're going to pay for this new hospital? As the government said, how we're going to pay for this?
Well, the Minister of Health, Michael Dowell, has said that that this is going to cost the Bahamian taxpayers. That's who's going to end up paying for it. I think that legitimately there's an overall question and concern about the person who called and talked about how paying for services, if you will,
Right,
that
sure.
a hospital has to make its money,
Right.
even if you're thinking care of the just very poor. So we understand the challenges with that. But there is no doubt that at the end of the day, if you're going to be talking about any aspect of fees and services, you want the services to be adequate. And I think that
Of course.
you want the services to be adequate.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the great issues that we have in our country, that Bahamian people feel that the taxes that they pay, the monies that they put out for government services, the sacrifices they're asked to make as taxpayers, that governments themselves are not prepared to make the sacrifices in terms of reeling in spending,
Right.
and then they're not getting the level of service that they're supposed to get. And so I do think that there needs to be a continued conversation of how do we increase and enhance government services, and then you can get to how do we ensure that Bahamians are paying enough, or that they're getting paying the requisite amount of compensation that's needed for a particular service.
Right.
But we have to provide it, and that gap that exists between what is provided to the Bahamian people and whatever level of compensation in whatever level of government, being at the hospital, or if you're going to the Registrar General Department, or if you're going to the Road Traffic Department, to make sure that there's equity that exists between services and what it is that you're charging for these services. And right now, the Bahamian people continue to be frustrated that there continues to be a big gap between that.
Getting a lot of questions off the text line, and similar questions as well, too, in regards to the new proposed hospital. If the F&M becomes the next administration, will you continue with that that proposed project as is, or will there be some amendments, or will it be readjusted?
Well, listen, the reality of it is that this is always a delicate balance, and I'm not going to sit here on this show today and suggest that changing some things and agreements are necessarily easy. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But what the leader of the opposition in our party has said, that as a government, we reserve the right to look at what's in the best interest of the Bahamian people, and to see how, if necessary, based on our vision and what the Bahamian people want, what modifications and changes can be made. What they are, we're not able to say right now what those changes would be, but there is no doubt that we are going to look at that this whole instrument, if you will, that this government feel is going to help our healthcare. We disagree, but we're going to look at this whole instrument and how can changes be made to meet the interests of the Bahamian people as it relates to enhance public health care in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Now, as far as immigration goes, let's just address that. We got some calls. Callers, we coming to you right now. Appreciate your patience. But there was a caller from your constituency, St. James, that specifically asked what the F&M, you and Mr. Pintard your position on immigration. Now, I have heard on several occasions and seen the FNM roll out the SHIELD program,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
deals specifically with immigration. But in case that caller missed it, here's an opportunity for you to break it down real quick for them again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As you said, again, the leader of the party and all of our caucus, parliamentary caucus, and other members of the Free National Movement, we had a press conference on the SHIELD program. This issue of illegal immigration in our country is something that continues to be vexing. We've consistently said that the Free National Movement is not anti any group of persons, whoever they may be. We all know that there are people who have legally migrated to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas who have contributed to the development of our country. Many of our teachers were from different countries. In the police force in the earlier years, many of those members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force were from different Caribbean countries. So this isn't about one group of people. What the leader of the opposition has said so eloquently is that we are not anti-foreign, but we are also not the party that believes that there should be this liberal approach that we feel that the government has taken, in our view, because of what they may view is meeting a political expediency and so forth, right? We know that Bahamians, this is a very emotive issue, a very, very emotive issue. But at the end of the day, to be secured, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas must firstly be for Bahamians. There is no other country where all of us and persons who are listening to me, other Bahamians, there's no other country that we have the power that we have, except the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So Bahamians should be first. We understand that this is a global community that we live in, again, and people come from all walks of life in different countries to contribute. So the SHIELD program, I'll share with the gentleman, you can go on the FNM page, but we've talked about it. S, secure our land and end illegal occupation. Heighten surveillance. I, investigate political abuse. E, end unfairness and enforce stronger penalties. L, limit approvals. And D, disclose data. And so if you go on our particular website, it will go in depth on each of those points about the SHIELD program. And again, while it's a program, our approach to immigration is not limited by this program. But what we are saying is that we have a framework that we believe is necessary to address a lot of the illegal immigrant issues in our country. We have to be real about it. We have to be strong about it. We understand that there requires a level of decency and humanity, but there is no doubt that Bahamians ought to be first in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And that means if we have to ensure that our healthcare system, our educational system, all of the structures of government that should be to the prioritized benefit of Bahamians should be first. It should be first.
Right, let's go to the phone lines. We have a lot of callers on the line. Talking Heads. Hi.
Hey, MJ.
Hi.
Which end?
Hey, what's going on, Knowledge?
That's Shannon Dawn in studio?
Yes, sir.
That is Mr. Cartwright.
Mr. Cartwright, what's happening, man? Mr. Deputy Leader.
How are you, sir?
Blessed, man. Thanks for asking. Naughty, so a couple of things. I know you got people waiting. If we continue as a people, right, to pretend that we don't see certain things, and I'm going to qualify this very quickly, how is it, Naughty, our members of parliament on both sides of the political divide, they go in, many of them modest lives. You have some that did well before they went into politics, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden, they've figured out, only politicians in our country figure out the 5-year, formula to become millionaires. So I feel like before we go without and asking for monies for any initiative, immigration for technology, our nurses and doctors who are being mistreated, our teachers, our classrooms, our kids that are being shortchanged. I'd like to hear something progressive from the Free National Movement, having been there before. Something like conducting forensic audits, man, for all of these 5-year millionaires. And if they can't justify, I wonder how much money we could come up with for our nurses, for immigration, for any hospital that we want to build.
That's progressive for me and transformational governance.
Thank you.
Because these checks, these loans,
Right.
we're putting these on the backs of our great-grandchildren at this point.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we are.
But all of a sudden, the only people that appear to live comfortably after 5 years on a job, the acquisition of land, the businesses that they own, that they didn't have before, mind you. And that's not an accusation, just in the interest of transparency. I think most Bahamians would be prepared to swallow us going to the United States, as you hear what the ambassador said about their opinion on the loan from China. I think it'd be a little bit more palatable for our all of a sudden 5-year millionaire guys to empty their pockets, every single one, from independence. And if you can't justify where your land comes from, where that money in the bank comes from, any foreign account, submit as a part of, I want to hear somebody vying for government office say they will sign off on random forensic auditing of every single person close to them.
Thank you so much.
Good stuff, Knowledge. Good stuff.
The deputy leader respond to that.
Yeah, no, I think that, for democracy, in my view, and definitely, obviously, in our view, for the democracy to work at its optimum, there are two very important ingredients, if you will, or two important elements, but not limited to, which is dissent, and that's why I'm a member of the Free National Movement, and many of us are members of the Free National Movement, because a democracy without dissent ain't democracy, is a dictatorship.
Right.
And so the fact that that you can dissent, and the other aspect is transparency, and we need as much transparency for the Bahamian people in all aspects of government, whether it relates to members of parliament, whether it relates to these deals that are done in the dark. We need full ventilation of these issues.
So the FNM is committed to a Freedom of Information Act, the Procurement Act, and obviously declarations by MPs. Correct?
We've been consistent. The leader's been consistent on this issue. The party's been
I'm
consistent.
talking about enforcement. When they don't declare, we need to find out.
Right? No, absolutely. There needs to be, and this is why there's such a level of disenchantment in the country and frustration, apathetic, because we're going from one election to the next. And on many different issues, people aren't seeing the necessary progress that's needed.
And there were promises made. For example, when we talk about FOIA, this current administration, as a part of their blueprint for change, you guys can check it out. It's on pages 50 to 51. They actually said under good governance that they would, quote, fully implement the Freedom of Information Act alongside the Integrity Commission Act, Ombudsman Bill, Public Disclosure Act, Anti-Corruption Campaign Finance Reform, Code of Conduct, Whistleblower Act, Electoral Reform Act, and Procurement Act, end quote. And then we come a couple of years later after they're in power, and we hear the chairman of the party saying that, FOIA is not something that's high on the list at all, or something that they're interested in. Mm-hmm. And so that makes Bahamians feel like, okay, you promised one thing during the campaign, we give you the power, and then you do an about face with the Bahamian people. How is the Free National Movement going to be different?
But first of all, here's the truth. All along the way, if you will, this government has made so many promises to the Bahamian people in all different categories, whether it be to the workers of this country, whether it be to the business people of this country, whether it be to persons who are concerned about the environment. We are still waiting on the promised BPL deal to be laid in Parliament,
right?
For us to take a look. That it's not been done. We are still waiting on the $120 million that was supposed to be in the bank for the Grand Lucayan. We are still waiting for the government to come back to Parliament. They should have come back to Parliament to when they loaned BPL $100 million. We're still waiting on that. So all along the way, the government has acted as if they are serious about transparency, but the reality has shown different.
Let's get to the phone line.
Your cell phone caller hit us back.
Yeah.
Let's check the text lines.
This phone lines, text lines.
Let's
what
go
do we
to
do?
the call real quick.
Let's go to the phone lines.
Talking heads.
Hi, caller.
Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you doing? Thanks for letting me call into the show.
Yes.
No problem.
MJ and Naughty the Sparky.
Hey, Sparky.
Hey, what's going on, Sparky?
Hey, good buddy. Naughty, as much as we've been talking about these topics over and over repeatedly, for I know more than 4 years. We've been talking these same conversations from, I think, Talk Show opened with Wendell Jones back in 94, 97, 94. And we haven't gotten to the bottom of this line yet, Naughty. I still don't understand how we could have 27 shanty towns in a little island, 21 by 7, but it's not really 21 by 7 anymore because most of the outer area has been cut off from the most Bahamian people by what we call gated communities. All on the north side, all on the western side, all on the southern side, all around Yamakro are now gated communities, which mean that the massive population would move from the outer islands into New Providence, not Nassau now. See, you always call it Nassau. Nassau is down Bay Street.
Right.
New Providence is the name of the island where I born and where I live.
Yes, sir.
And everybody's left the islands to come to New Providence because either for better education with the College of the Bahamas, University of the Bahamas, higher education, or for better job opportunity, which left the outer islands practically abandoned with 200 and 300 people in this city and this island, and so the likes. Harbor Island has been taken over. One time ago, you could pay $50 to go up there on the Bohingi, to go to Harbor Island no more, because it's been overtaken by foreign illegals. Abago has been taken over by foreign illegals, and they standing up bold enough saying, it's more us here than you. And we allow this to continue in this country. Naughty, where I have Bahamian teacher friends of mine in Columbus Primary and different places saying that over 70% of the children in their class can't speak English properly. They are Haitian descendants.
Okay, Sparky, do you have a question for the deputy leader?
Yes, what I'm trying to find out is now, how do we say, when you leave us, when you come around us in the next few months, asking us to give you our support, you tell us that you're going to go down Bay Street to represent us. And as soon as you get down there, put on your suit, hold the Holy Bible, you switch from the people and say, now we represent the king, all his heirs and successors, the governor general, the prime minister, and everybody, but you forget the people who you said was your constituents. And you do that every 5 years.
All right, Sparky, good
Thank you,
stuff, man. You
Sparky.
made your point. I'm going to let Mr. Cartwright answer. Let me just get this other call in. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Go ahead, caller. I think we lost
All
that
right.
one.
Okay. Listen, I hear Brother Sparky, and again, I fully appreciate and respect and hear the frustration that he's expressing, and the party's leader and our party as a whole fully understand that if given the opportunity by Almighty God and the Bahamian people, understand perfectly that what you are compared to is not the persons who you replace. You're compared to the promises and the policies that you say. That's why the Bahamian people continue to be frustrated. I can say to you, Brother Sparky, that having spent a great deal of time with the Honorable Michael Pintard as the leader of this party, as we've fleshed out all of these policy positions, what ingredient has been the most important and the most visible that I have observed and we have observed is his courage to get it done. And we all know that we have a great deal of brain supply in our country, but what has been lacking is the political will in many respects. And I can promise you that Michael Pintard and the Free National Movement has the political will to achieve these things.
Let's go to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
What's up, Not?
Hey, what's going on?
All right. You know, after you stand back far enough, right, and you want to, like, try to be relevant, there's one thing that is dawning on the Bahamian people. There are certain things that the PLP and the FNM agree on when it comes to governing these people who vote for them every 5 years. And that question about the FOIA, you know, that is probably just the tip of the iceberg. Now, this is just my opinion, but I think when the person goes in the booth this time around, I think they should vote for the person who is going to submit themselves to the office that they are being voted in for. And that's from the Prime Minister down. Issue where these personalities get front and center on this whole you say, I say stuff, and they forget, we on the ground here and we watching, But I wish the deputy leader all the best, Hopefully, Mr. Minister steps aside and allow them to do what they think they are going to do. But
all right, caller, good stuff, man. We got to get to the other calls, but good points. Talking heads.
Hi, good afternoon. First time caller.
Good afternoon, first time caller.
Okay, so I have a question. Regarding the constituency, right? Now, I know they added the new one, St. James. And over the weekend, I was able to drive in the community because I'm in Golden Isles. And I noticed how big this area is, and it covers many communities like Mount Pleasant. You have Dignity Gardens,
yes, ma'am.
Part of Glaston Road.
Yes.
And also, I think, even part of Fire Trail Road.
Yeah, Southwest
now,
Ridge.
I'm trying to figure out, hopefully, I'm pulling for Cartwright to win, but how would he be able to manage that big area?
Great question.
And when the F&M do come back in power, if they do, will they change this where constituencies would be more like together?
Thank you.
So the MPs can really be able to represent their areas correctly.
Thank you so much, caller. Great.
And, thank you very much. Incidentally, I served as the opposition member on the Boundaries Commission.
Right.
Okay? And so one of the things that is obviously looked at the top of the agenda is how do you balance the amount of voters in constituencies.
Right.
Obviously you do have issues, for instance, in the southern part of the Bahamas in Michael about, geographically, a constituency that's spaced out.
Yeah.
So you have a number of issues. But as it relates to St. James, the changes to St. James was necessitated by the fact that both Golden Isles and Kalani would have had an excess of some 7,500
Yeah,
voters.
that's a lot.
And so while geographically St. James is spread out, as you indicated, ma'am, St. James now only has 5,000 voters that allowed now both Kalani and Golden Isles to have a reduced voter registration in terms of the numbers. So yes, because of that big lake that's out there, right? You can't do nothing about geography, right? And that's why it is spread out to a great deal. But to answer you specifically, you mentioned Mount Pleasant, Adelaide, Coral Harbor, Dignity Gardens, Renaissance, the Bellot, Rocky Pine area, Southwest Ridge, the gated communities of Jacaranda and Serenity. So it is spread out. But part of any MP's job and anybody who's vying for office is to meet that challenge. In my case, I am prepared to meet that challenge. The constituency has very distinct communities that have some very specific needs. And to, as we've started already, engaging persons in the various communities. If you go into Coral Harbor, I attended a town hall meeting there with the expansion of the road there where they're trying to facilitate and mitigate issues relating to flooding in the Coral Harbor area. If you go out Mount Pleasant, where I grew up, some legacy issues still exist. For example, because of New Providence development that deals with the water supply, the rates are probably 30% higher out there, and then some infrastructural concerns. You go into historic communities like Adelaide, there are, again, still infrastructural concerns, and we're going to be doing a lot of things relating to community building and ensuring infrastructural enhancements and maintenance, and on and on and on through all the different communities and even the newer communities. So to answer your question, the short of it is, at the end of the day, my job as a person who's trying to win your confidence and support is to lay out plans and to address the distinct nature of each and every community. And, in St. Barnabas, I hopped on a bicycle, and I will still do that.
On a bicycle?
I will still do that. And while I say that with a great deal of humor, what I'm saying is whatever is necessary to represent the people of St. James, I will in fact do that.
What's it been like for you on the ground? I know you've only been ratified in the constituency. It's only existed on paper for a short time. What has it been like for you on the ground?
Listen, it has been this thing of service continues to be heartwarming. And in my case, where now I'm getting ready for my third election, what's been good is that as I knocked on doors, one, you sense the frustration that the Bahamian people have with this government and the issues of cost of living and high electricity bills. We talked about healthcare and immigration. As it relates to specifically me, many persons have said different versions of Mr. Cartwright, your reputation and what you've done in St. Barnabas. And I'm humbled and I'm proud of that persons would have seen, whether through family members or through different forms of media, they would have seen the work I've been doing in St. Barnabas. And so we're just grateful that persons have embraced us, and we'll continue to have a conversation, and most importantly, let people see where my heart and my commitment is if they don't know that already.
Let's get this call in. Talking Heads.
Good day, sir.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Cartwright.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you was more F&M than me, but any which way, sir. Two questions. What are y'all prepared to do? And please, sir, don't mix match. Don't say, I want a straight answer. What are y'all prepared to do with all this illegal Haitian in this country? Two, are y'all going to give you freedom of information, or are we going to just sit back and just let the new government come in and do the same thing what the PLP government is doing now? Please answer me straight up. No running around the corner. Straight answer, please.
Thank you very much, caller. You might have missed the beginning of the show where we covered these topics, but go ahead. You can expound on that for him.
No, absolutely, sir. And I'm going to adhere to your admonishment. The answer is yes, we are going to reform the immigration structure in this country. And yes, we're going to be very forthright with executing on the Freedom of Information Act.
All right, let's get this other call in real quick. Talking Heads.
Hey, Dottie, we don't hate you. You just Dottie by the Hi, Mary J.
Hey, GNN.
What's going on, GNN?
Son and Dawn Cartwright.
Yes, sir.
I can be real. I'm 63 years old in this country. When you're born, you're all my life. And I understand that we continue to do the same thing over there and over again. All that's crazy. You understand that you may be an exception to the rule because I'm kind of put JNN to drop it real bad. Ain't nothing to change. Thanks for taking JNN call.
Thank you, GNN. That's some of the apathy that you talked about earlier. That a lot of Bahamians feel like, you know what, we go back and forth between the parties and we just don't see the results that we want to see.
Yeah, no, and again, if we want to be real, and we should be real with the Bahamian people and sincere in our intentions and our endeavors, we must recognize that, I had a conversation with a number of persons recently, and we talked about the great apathy that Bahamians have been going to the polls with. One of the challenges that we have now is that the Bahamian people, they have apathy, but they're not even going to the polls.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
That is a problem.
That's a problem for our democracy. Now, if you want to be political, and at the end of the day, you could say, well, our job is to get our people out more than the other people. That, I guess, that's the competitiveness of politics. Your job is to get one more person than the other person. But as Bahamians, we want people to participate in democracy because that's when you get the real solutions and a real idea of what people want in the country. So we fully understand the apathy. We understand the reluctance that people have, even in this upcoming election. But something you said, sir, and I'm humble and grateful for the comment, and you talked about, for lack of a better phrase, the distinction that I would have brought to politics. I can tell you that same distinction resides with the leader of the party, the Honorable Michael Pintard. I see that distinction threaded throughout the team that we have assembled, persons who are committed and courageous enough to come and make the difference that's needed in our country. And so I would encourage persons throughout the length and breadth of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, as you meet our standard bearers in your respective constituencies, to size them up, to give them the opportunity to show you what they're made of. And I can promise you we will not be disappointed. We cannot promise you perfection, but we can promise you that we will keep our word and do our endeavor best to meet the aspirations and the dreams of the Bahamian people in a way that has not been done before.
All right, we're going to get into the news, and right after the news, we'll wrap with Mr. Cartwright, and I got one or two more questions for him. Callers will get to you, texters will get to your text, and then MJ and I will be talking sports in the 5 o'clock hour. Pearlie should be joining us, so keep it right where you got it. The Wednesday, February 11th edition of Talking Heads.
I mean, Valentine's is only a couple of days away. You can't remember the date?
I remember the date because
okay,
I can play Cupid and shoot you with my arrow.
You're listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9. We'll break for the news, and we'll be right back with our special guest, Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement, ratified candidate for the same constituency, Mr. Shannon Dawn Cartwright.
You was being had, don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats, then get busy on they. See, that's how that shit tell me, man. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me.
Naughty Johnny's restaurant can only be described as the experience you want to recreate again and again and again. Their motto is simple food done well. You're welcome into their home at Naughty Johnny's, where you can dine on crack conch fritters, and other Bahamian favorites. There's also an international flair that's guaranteed to offer something for everyone. Enjoy a good meal and listen to a live band on their patio Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Only at Naughty Johnny's restaurant in the Old Town Plaza, Old Fort. They're open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday. Naughty Johnny's. Well, what the
Are you or someone you love in need of at-home care support? Maybe you require medication administration, mobility assistance, or post-surgical recovery support. Do you have a loved one who is suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia and need patient-centered support? Well, there's a caring, affordable, and trusted solution available for you. It's called Assurance Home Care. We have certified Bahamian nurses and caregivers, and we can provide both hourly or monthly rates. Call us now for a free consultation at 242-810-8995. At Assurance Home Care, we provide quality care you can trust right at home.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
For over half a century, Hongxi has been reserved only for heads of state and world leaders. It wasn't just a car, it was a privilege. Easy Car Sales is proud to Bahamas, a new era in luxury electric, rooted in absolute prestige. It's for the few who demand freedom from the gas pump and first-class craftsmanship. Visit Easy Car Sales to see if you're ready for a taste of royalty.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more, there's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, February 11th edition of Talking Heads. Naughty along with MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. And we appreciate our special guest, the F&M ratified candidate for the St. James constituency, F&M deputy leader, Mr. Shannon Cartwright. Glad he's gone over a couple of minutes with us. Let's get these calls out of the way. We'll get to the text, and then we got a couple of pertinent questions for Mr. Cartwright before we wrap with him. Talking Heads.
Hey, good afternoon. How y'all doing today? Naughty
Hi.
MJ.
Hey.
What's happening?
Mr. Cartwright, how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you, sir?
Great, man.
Good, man.
I got my thing is, do your party have their own constitution?
Yes, we do.
Okay, an ideology, right?
Yes, sir.
So if states one thing, I mean, could y'all make that public, both F&M and PLP? Because our regular constitution is public, right?
Yes,
So I
absolutely.
feel like it should be public so that we, the people, can read both of these constitutions so we can make informed decisions based on voting going forward. Because whatever your party stands for and the PLP stand for, as long as it doesn't have anything to do with the people per se, when it comes down to being one, like making everybody accountable for what they're doing, ain't nothing can change in this country.
Thank you so much, caller.
Good stuff, caller. Let's get to the other call. Talking Heads.
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to your guest, Naughty.
Good afternoon,
I just
ma'am.
wanted to make one thing plain. I know that you would have asked the deputy leader a question, and so would MJ. I don't feel like he answered it, and that was the question on where Dr. Hubert Minnis stands. I just feel he keeps saying what the party says, but when Dr. Minnis speaks, he really don't care. He's mashing the F&M up. I think the F&M needs to stand up and stand out and make their mandate clear and plain. Dr. Minnis is not an F&M. He is not running for the party, and that's the end of that. No need to be cutting and trimming here and trimming there. Say what it says.
Thank you very much, caller. You want to address this one more time, Mr. Cartwright?
Yeah, no. I thought I was clear. Well, let me just say it again. Dr. Minnis has indicated his intention to run as an independent. What I expressed is that there's a formal process when that happens. Just as when people return to the party, there's a formal process for them to come back to the party. And so I just wanted to be very, very clear that there is a process. And I did indicate that at the end of the day, if Dr. Minnis decides that he is going to run against the Free National Movement, and at that time the Prime Minister of the country, the Constitution deals with that. From a political standpoint, there will be members of the Free National Movement that will be running in constituencies. There will be members of the Progressive Liberal Party, members of the COI, and independents. We believe wholeheartedly that the best persons in these constituencies will be the members of the Free National Movement, the standard bearers for the Free National Movement.
Are you personally disappointed in Dr. Minnis's recent announcement that he will contest that Killarney Street, which is a Free National Movement, considered a stronghold? Are you personally disappointed in the path that he's laid out, that he will go ahead and contest that seat as an independent?
Listen, I think, I would be lying if I said to you that you always want any former leader to stay in the fray. Absolutely, because it gives us the opportunity to defend his administration along with him and so forth. As the leader has said, there continues to be a role for all our former leaders who are playing a role. Politics is ever changing, and even as positions change and so forth, people take on different roles. So from that standpoint, why wouldn't we have wanted our former leader to stay in the party? At the end of the day, a general election is coming, and we have an election campaign to wage. And at the end of the day, we believe that the Free National Movement and all of the standard bearers that represent the Free National Movement are the best choice for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
You would prefer he stayed in as a statesman in some other role as opposed to continuing to run as an MP?
Well, whatever role that he and the leader would have discussed or the party wanted for him.
Right.
Absolutely.
That would have been better in your opinion?
Of course.
Okay. Let's get to the text lines. Texters, don't kill me. We have a lot of text as possible. This texter, let's make sure we got this, Says, good afternoon, everyone. Please ask how the FNM will address our corruption perception on the world stage, and more importantly, how will they curb this outrageous borrowing that is loading down generations? So the borrowing and the borrowing and the borrowing.
Yeah, the borrowing and the borrowing. And again, thank you so much for the question, because one of the things that continues to cripple us and continues to be a challenge for us in our further development, even though we've made major progress in our country, is, again, this promise that we make to the Bahamian people of the prosperity that we're going to bring, and how that prosperity helps to facilitate the dreams and aspirations of the Bahamian people. And that starts with our fiscal health. What we do with our economy, diversifying our economy. What are we doing relative to our debt? What are we doing relative to how we prioritize and how we deal with the appropriation of funds relative to ministries, relative to policies, how we tax the Bahamian people who are prepared to make sacrifices, right? We understand that taxes are necessary, but Bahamians want a balanced approach. And so as people look at that, they ask themselves, how do we become better in terms of our fiscal approaches? Now, what I would say is, and again, the party, we've been consistent in saying that as a caucus, it does involve a level of sacrifice, because there are things that you may not be able to obtain and get at that particular time, and relative, whether it be a certain ministry or as it relates to some broader policy issues. But in order to ask, again, the Bahamian people to make those sacrifices, you can't ask to absorb more, but the government or our government is unwilling to do the very same, right? Whether it be the travel, whether it be the use of government cars and how we utilize it, because all of that is a cost. Right. And so when we talk about, for example, with the travel, and we talk about, okay, so the country has to be represented on the world stage, but is it necessary to carry sometimes 40 people, right? Is it necessary to carry what people have labeled as entire football teams? That has been a disconnect for many Bahamians. And so as we talk about the dreams and aspirations of the Bahamian people and what we want to do in terms of future prosperity, we have to look at our fiscal approaches and obviously the taxation and what this government has done and how balance that. And then, we go right back to the illegal immigration problem in the sense of the burden that it continues to place on the healthcare system, on the education system, on the social security network in the country. All of that is why we are committed to ensuring serious illegal immigration reform in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, because we want to be able to make a better deposit on the future of our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren.
Let's get to more of the text. This texter says, good afternoon. Mr. Cartwright is absolutely right. The PLP has spent enormous sums on traveling and consultations and hasn't prioritized critical areas like healthcare. It's time for them to go. This texter says, good day. We want our land that was given to illegals for votes to be taken back. No walking on eggshells around illegal immigration when it comes to defending our sovereignty. We need our leaders to really show Bahamians some real... Good afternoon, MJ Naughty and Mr. Cartwright. Ask if it is possible that there be a debate with Michael Pintard and Mr. Brave Davis next month. You even put the time in there, next month. What are your thoughts on the debates?
I think that in a mature democracy, that should be the expectation, and there should be a realization of a debate. Let's have a national conversation, televised national conversation on these issues and on policies. Let persons be held accountable for their words, and let the professionals ask the questions and hold people accountable. I believe that the Bahamian people deserve that, and I believe they deserve that a long time ago. So absolutely.
This texter says, good afternoon, Naughty and MJ and Mr. Cartwright. The question is asked if Mr. Cartwright is the first sitting MP to move to another constituency. PLPs are criticizing this move. FYI, so Lyndon Pindling represented Nassau District constituency in 1956 and shifted to the Kemps Bay constituency. Mr. Halkitis, Mr. Darville, Mr. B.J. Nordis, Mr. Paul Adderley, Mr. Cecil Wallace Whitfield, Mr. Loftus Roca, all shifted.
I appreciate all those great gentlemen. But what happened to your Minister of Health, Mikey Shaky Darville, who flip-flopped from Grand Bahama to Tall Pines, and now they want to go in Tall Pines? Come on, man.
Shifted constituencies. There are others. Nothing new. This text.
And I appreciate the history lesson, and I didn't mean to cut you up. But let's fast forward the tape to 2026. Shaky, man. Come on.
Okay. This text says, "Good afternoon, MJ and Naughty and Mr. Cartwright. I am informed and I'm aware of persons who kept the F&M for decades are being sidelined. If you want to win, you must embrace your members. You must include these people who worked for your party for decades." What are your thoughts on that? I think that the unity conversation has been tamped down a little bit, but it's still there. What do you think about that?
Listen, I think that, I agree with that texter, if you will, that obviously in any organization, even outside of politics, a family is strongest when everybody is together, any family, right? And even with families that we all have, literally our family, our biological connections, families have disagreements and have their little row and so forth. Now, I think that at the end of the day, the deliberate attempts have been made, and in a lot of cases, to ensure that you keep as many family members as a part of the family as possible. Sometimes there are differences that may not allow it to be every person. In these matters, every situation is different, but there is no doubt that we want to have as many of our family members stay with the family as possible. So I agree.
This texter says, "Good afternoon, Naughty, and my favorite host, MJ. Mr. Cartwright, you're a good person, and I sincerely wish you all the best in St. James, because here in Central and South Eleuthera, we are going with Philippa Kelly." Shout out to Eleuthera. I love Eleuthera. This texter says, "MJ, let me say, Dr. Minnis never respected the leadership of the F&M after he lost in the convention." This texter says, "Dr. Minnis is an excellent representative in Killarney. Y'all didn't ask Killarney. Now I am torn between two lovers, Dr. Minnis and Dr. MacGyver. Why not let him win the seat for the F&M and then let him bow out? Your new representative isn't resonating with me." Okay, that texter. All right, thank you so much, texters. Keep sending them in. I will get to as many more of them as I can, but I want to go over some quick national topics with Mr. Cartwright while we still have a little bit of time here. Lisa and other members of the civil service talked about this issue with their insurance, and I know that you followed that well.
Absolutely.
We keep hearing certain numbers thrown out, something like $100 million arrears.
Yeah.
And the Minister of National Security, though he has addressed this, he has not been very specific with the numbers or what is happening. So can you tell us what is happening there?
Well, first, and let me say this, and in the nature of the business that we are in, and when I say the business as members of Parliament and public officials, I can tell you from my standpoint, and we've been consistent as a collective body, that when we level criticism, we do our endeavor best, the leader and the entire caucus, to make sure that we do it with a level of sobriety and seriousness, and not to allow it the political showmanship to dictate it. But here's the reality. On this issue of the gratuities for the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, we understand it's some 500 plus persons.
Oh, wow.
500 plus persons.
Oh, wow.
Okay. We've pressed the government, we've pressed the Minister of National Security on this issue, on the issue of the insurance. The Police Staff Association about 2 days ago put out a statement talking about the government, the Minister of National Security, and just their refusal to deal with this in a very diligent way. And so we feel that it's unfortunate that the Minister of National Security and this government continues to fail the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And many of us, including myself, I had 3 and 4 members of my family who were members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. So it touches all of us. We know how important they are. They're on the front line, dealing with so much in our country. And the Minister of National Security continues to disrespect the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, because instead of dealing with the substantive issue of gratuities and the insurance not being paid.
Correct. The insurance is the big one.
The $100 million owed to the insurance company. You just turn on Parliament and he lambastes the Police Staff Association.
That was weird.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And so at the end of the day, the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, who also vote, at the end of the day, they will have their say about how they're being treated. And I want to say to the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, right, and even those persons who are part of the reserve and all the persons who are part of the uniformed services, we will be there for you. We will make sure that you are compensated in the way that you should be. We will make sure that your gratuities are paid because we value your country, this country.
One of the things that we noticed before the last general election, this administration, this current Davis administration Progressive Liberal Party administration made a big show about their relationship with the unions. In the last couple of years, we have seen time and time again, very loud and vocal, disputes with various unions. I think the other day I saw an IT union, and I was like, the IT people too, talking about how, they're not getting, I guess even a seat at the table to discuss these issues with the Prime Minister. What do you make about the way that this administration has handled its relationships, the government's relationships with union, particularly since when they came in, they talked so much about how, their great relationship with these unions?
Well, we've again consistently told them they had a memorandum of understanding, right, between the unions in the country. Mr. Obie Ferguson himself had said publicly that they've not honored the agreement. And if you have an agreement that has 20-something clauses, right, the agreement is 20-something clauses.
Right.
And if you only take care or tick off 4 of them,
right,
you're not honoring the agreement, right? The agreement is the 24 clauses. So it's been remarkable to hear, the government say that they have been one with the workers of this country when every other week, every
other union, every other week, every other day.
Absolutely.
You ask Kingsley Smith and Belinda Wilson right now and see that stance and see that take.
Absolutely. And a number of protests and so forth. I'm outside the office of the Prime Minister, outside the hospital. Teachers who have protested, members of who work in the public service in different departments and so forth. So again, the eye test and what is real to the Bahamian people and what they're experiencing every day paints a whole different picture and is a different reality from what the government has continued. So it's almost like don't believe your lies for the Bahamian people. And I say again, if you strip away the politics, there is no doubt that the country is going in the wrong direction.
Yep.
Whether on immigration, whether it's on healthcare, whether it's on the economy, whether it as it relates to business people in our country, whether it relates to the least and the lost and the left behind in this country and the persons who need the social services apparatus and so forth, it is harder. The fundamental question any government who seeks to get reelected has to ask their people, are you better off than you were when they first came in? And if you, as we talk to Bahamians, they would say resoundingly, no, they are not better off.
One of the things, or a couple of the issues that are really important, at least in our household, cost of living and electricity.
Yes.
Like this past summer, I don't think I've ever seen electricity bills as high as what we saw this past summer. It is painful. What is the Free National Movement prepared to do differently? Can you do something to help us with the cost of living? And what about whatever is happening with BPL, Bahamas Grid? What's happening there?
Well, it's interesting on the cost of living issue. The government finally, after we were on them and the Bahamian people were asking for VAT to be off bread, basket items, and prescription drugs and so forth. The government finally did what the Bahamian people have been asking. The Prime Minister, no less than the Prime Minister himself, said about a year and a half ago that they've been unsuccessful in dealing with the issues of inflation and how to combat it. This 5%, for you to save $150, right? You have to spend about $3,000 on groceries, right? And so this came out and they said that what it amounts to is $11 a month.
Right.
$127 for the year.
Right. $11 a month. You can't be serious about that. Okay? And so what we have said is this is about a holistic approach. And all of these things are connected. We talked about they took off a VAT on high-priced real estate in the country. Okay? When they came into office, they talked about they reduced VAT to 10%. But what they didn't say, what they were going to do, which they've done, is create taxes in other areas and increase taxes in other areas. It costs more now for departure tax. It costs more now for government services and for you to license your vehicle and so forth. It costs more now for your insurance. So the tax burden on the Bahamian people have increased. It has increased tremendously on the Bahamian people. And so what we say is that we would have a balanced approach to this economy. We would have a balanced approach to how we deal with getting monies into the consolidated fund, balancing that again with ensuring that taxes to a degree and services are reduced to a certain extent, a balanced approach on duty that we had. And so even when the VAT conversation in 2015, the PLP introduced VAT.
Right.
Okay. In 2018, when we came into office, we reduced VAT on bread basket items on medication. In 2022, when the PLP reduced VAT to 10%, they increased it on medications and on
bread basket
and
items.
on bread basket items and so forth. People have to appreciate that for some people, every day they're trying to find $25 to buy something to eat. And so the impact of when they put taxes, increase the taxes on the Bahamian people and and in particular those persons who are most challenged, it had a devastating effect. You talk about the issue of BPL. Paying a BPL bill is almost like mortgage now.
Yes, sir.
Right?
It's expensive.
When this government came into office, we had a hedge in place. Okay, they weren't diligent. They abandoned the hedge. Caused electricity bills to go up by 163%. And despite all the talk about their energy reform, what we've seen now through BPL's own data, light bills have gone up now to 114, between 74 and 114%.
Correct.
Depending if you're using below 800 per kilowatt hour or more. So the truth is that what they've promised the Bahamian people is not the life that the Bahamian people are living.
And the hedging is now, I guess, on the table again. What do you make of that? When they came into office, they got rid of it, but now apparently it's back on the table.
Yeah, and here the irony of it is, it's a financial hedge, and so you have to constantly be diligent to act and to execute, because when you don't, which they didn't, it will cost BPL, and most importantly, it costs the Bahamian people, causing electricity bills to go up by 163%.
Well, we do have to get to the break now, but I do want to thank
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright
Thank you
for
so
being so
much.
candid, for going over with us. Always a pleasure to have you on. And thank you for being, like I said, clarifying a lot of things in relation to where the
It's great to be
FNM
here.
stance and position is. And obviously, a lot of Bahamians share your sentiments with the way the country is going right now. So obviously, people are interested in, and the most important thing for me is, like you touched on earlier, forget the vote. I haven't registered. If you've been registered, go out and continue to vote. And if you're registered and you've been sitting it out, bungie off the sofa and get out and vote.
Absolutely. It's important to participate in your democracy, irrespective of which party you support or which parties you support. But I believe that when you go and register, that if you want change in this country, if you want immigration to be fixed, national security to be fixed, our economy to make progress in the way that you believe, it's important that you vote FNM.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cartwright.
I can leave you on this one as we go to the break. If you are successful in next go round, boy, that's a hard. Them pastors could be in trouble. You at the point, Rick Fox at the forward, that one call over. Let's go to the break.
Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun just come on, One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the brother that's there. Three in the air for the...
The fried chicken experts are back with a brand new way to enjoy your favorite sandwich. Introducing the Wrap Star. Crunch into the Wrap Star, full of flavor and wrapped in a warm grilled tortilla for that perfect crunchy bite. A classic, made modern, that's crunchy, melty, and grilled to perfection for all the journeys of your day. KFC, it's finger licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed, or just take your mind threads is your place. If you want to look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video. Want to step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Being had, don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats, then get busy on they. See, that's how that Chi-Town made, man.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, February 11th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. Listen, I'm going to get this out of the way. We are going to talk some sports. Obviously, you know, we're entering the dog days of the sports season. No NFL. We got NBA, college basketball, men and women's, and hockey. And hockey's on break for Winter Olympics. But I will address something now. And before Muff calls in and starts to stir the pot. Yes, my love. My better half.
I'm not even rubbing it in.
Mi Azúcar Morena, my Carmel Curry Bradshaw. Listen to me.
Gosh.
My Spurs aficionado. Yes, y'all monkey stormed us last night. Y'all kicked the living-ish out of us.
I even felt bad for you, Laker fans.
But that was pure strategy, and that is what I have a problem with the NBA with now. You know, you buy tickets for this game when the schedule comes out, and you say February 10th, 2026. I'm going to watch the Lakers and the Spurs. And I'm going to watch Wemby, and I'm going to watch Castle and Vassell and the whole crew from the Spurs. And I'm going to watch Luka, and I'm going to watch Reeves, and I'm going to watch James. And then because it's the second night of a back-to-back, the dreaded load management struck in, and J.J. Redick rested Luka, who's injured, Reeves, LaRavia, LeBron, Ayton, Marcus Smart, a couple other people, and played the entire bench. So I'm going to just say that, yes, you did win that one, but you didn't beat the full squad.
But, isn't there an all-star break this weekend? Is it not this weekend?
Correct. And my whole thing about it is, I think the NBA went on break last night for the all-star weekend.
Right.
Is the fact that...
So you need a break before a break? Like, what's happening?
Right. Well, you know, you got people like Pearlie who's chiming in now, who pitches and catches have reported, so he's fine.
I'm fine.
Me and you are in the dead zone right now. But Pearly, did you see that foolishness last night? You just let this Spur beat up on me, or you ain't gonna come in and help me, man, my Laker brother, and say we played no
one. I
one?
was so pissed off. When I look and when I saw who's, I did not watch that game. I flipped off it. I thought it was ridiculous. And Stephen A. Smith really gave the Lakers a good thrashing today. I don't want to say some other ways, but they gave him he gave him some good words, and a lot of people, even Utah, doing the same thing. This is ridiculous. It's killing the integrity of basketball. You can't tell me all three of them are that bad. None of them could have played.
No, but me as a father, say I take MJ and the boys to a game, and we expecting to see these guys play, and then nobody plays. That sucks.
I want my money back.
Yeah, for real.
Correct.
For real.
So, I mean, like I said, the NBA has a lot to work on with their product. The All-Star game is garbage. The playoffs have now become garbage with the bubble and all of that foolishness.
So you're not watching the All-Star this weekend, no?
My love, let's be honest.
Uh-huh.
When last you saw me watch the All-Star game, ask yourself that question.
No, I know, but I mean, what about like the slam dunk, the 3-point? I like to watch the 3-pointer.
How many times we've gone to dinner, we've gone to movies, we've done other stuff during the same All-Star weekend, and I haven't even checked.
Pearly, you too? You're not watching?
Nope. I'll
wow.
watch the highlights of the slam dunk contest.
Correct.
Right.
And VJ's not in the slam dunk contest? Why bother?
But he is participating, right? What is he doing? Nothing?
He's in one of
the teams, right?
He's in the Futures game.
Oh, good. All right. So I will watch that.
Correct.
Rising Stars.
Rising Stars.
So
Okay,
we'll watch
I will
that. And then outside of that, I got nothing to watch. I mean, against the world and all of this foolishness, I am used to East versus West, red and white uniforms, white or red, and the score being 170 to 165. Nobody played no defense the whole game, and they tried to do it in the last fourth quarter. That's an all-star game. That's Kobe slapping the floor and telling LeBron, let's go one-on-one. LeBron passing the ball. That's the all-star game.
Yeah, that I remember the olden days ones. They were fun, but the product has fallen
No, but let's
off.
be real. You remember that year early on in our relationship, before they frigged up the All-Star game, remember there was that year Marbury and Iverson went off. And And I was like, the West won, everything cool, da-da-da-da-da. And in that fourth quarter, they beat the crap out of the West, and they was just balling. Those are the games that you leave and you go do the thing you do as a kid and even as an adult. You go out to the court right after that with your kids and you start playing ball and working on things you saw in the game. That was the All-Star game. True or false, Pearly?
You're very right. You're very right.
Now you got foolishness.
Couldn't say it any better.
It's garbage. And yes, I get it.
The only All-Star game I would watch would be two, actually. The baseball All-Star game, I think, is pretty still much.
It is. As remained intact. That's the last one.
Correct.
And then actually the hockey one is be really good.
Oh, I've never watched that.
Yeah, because hockey, like the old school NH and like the old school NBA, they'll breeze for the first two quarters, but that third quarter, teeth getting knocked out fights.
They've made it a little rivalish. They have like the U.S. versus the world or Europe and all that stuff.
Or Canada versus, and then they got the skills competition, which is really entertaining.
So yeah, I like the hockey, you know.
Texas says, Naughty, MJ, and Pearly. I heard LeBron duck out because of Wemby, and he always duck out when they play Giannis too.
I just want LeBron to duck out of the league completely and take Bronny with him, and then let's go from there.
Yeah. The quicker the better.
Listen, I was cut skin, MJ, but I can't even allow you to gloat too much on that.
I'm not. That's what the texter said.
Actually, MJ, I wouldn't gloat on that because you really just beat the squad. You beat the second team.
I mean,
all the Luka them was there.
Yeah, that won't make a difference.
But Pearly, I could be honest.
I actually look at it as disservice to the Spurs, insult to the Spurs.
All right, let's get this call in, and then we got to wrap because we got a good Rich Eisen taking us home and breaking it down. New head coach in Las Vegas, Pearly.
Yes.
Looks like Mendoza's going to have a quarterback whisperer in Kubiak.
Yeah, but we knew that. We knew he was going there before he had to wait for the Super Bowl.
But I'm hearing now that they've got their coach in place, that the phone's been ringing in Dallas. That number 20 picking another piece for Mr. Crosby. That would be very scary. Would you give up the 20th pick if Miami had it for Crosby out of Vegas?
He's still only 27, right?
Correct.
It'll be a good move. It'll be a good move.
A very interesting one. All right, let's get this call in real quick. Talking Heads.
I'm really glad that you took this call. Pearline, you know it's going to be a problem. Naughty, as impressive as your sports acumen is, your hate, you will never be objective when it comes to LeBron. And Pearlie right there with you entertaining your foolishness, man. And it sounds like you messing around MJ, like
You know what?
I'm a Spur.
You know what knowledge? You know what knowledge? When LeBron retires, I'm not going to celebrate more that he's retired and taking his Nepo baby with him. I'm going to be more happy and celebrate the fact that bronsexuals like y'all will be done with forever and ever. Amen.
No, they're just going to find someone else, you know.
Wait, one of the greats. I heard y'all break down after our call on Sunday on the press box. Naughty, I know you know better. And I can call MJ later and find out what you was really saying. Because ain't no way that foolishness...
She can tell you right now.
You mean that, babe?
Let me break it down without you interrupting me and getting all caught up in
Here we go.
In 2018, when LeBron came to LA, I said, to your chagrin, because you gave me a hard time about it, I said, this is going to be a failure for the Lakers because we're getting him too late in his career. This is all about life after basketball, pushing his progeny, making deals. LeBron doesn't really care about championships anymore. 2018, we didn't make the playoffs. 2019, didn't make the playoffs. 2020,
what happened in 2020?
We won in the bubble. That's fine. We'll take it. Stop. Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. This is where y'all go wrong because the truth is make you all melt like the Wicked Witch in the Wizard of Oz.
You won in the bubble. Keep going.
We won in the bubble. The next year, we didn't even make the playoffs.
So his stint has been disappointing.
Then the following year, a bubble play-in. Then the following year, a 7th seed that made it to the finals and got to the Western Conference Finals and got housed. It has been a failure. We have not done anything spectacular since LeBron has got there, except for trade away good young talent, placate him and his Nepo baby.
Hey, knowledge.
And that's the truth.
You could do me a favor?
I was right.
I'm not talking to you no more, Naughty.
Go ahead.
And Pearlie done finished. MJ, you do me a favor, please?
Go ahead.
MJ, if you can't check the seal on the bottle, even if it's water and it's clear, that Naughty give you, don't drink it. Please.
You're a mess.
Have a good evening.
You're a mess. I'm a Spurs. If you don't have these problems, I had years of being spoiled by Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Ginobili, Bowen, and now we have another great squad.
And knowledge.
I don't have these
I just want to tell you something. I heard your little last comment. There's a pothole out there with your name written on it.
Don't wish that on him.
I hope not just your tire pop, but all your piston and your gearbox drop in the road right next to your LeBron rookie car.
You can't wish these potholes on nobody, not on your worst enemies. You know how many tires these potholes is take out? My gosh.
Delsa Brunson.
The potholes? Oh my gosh, that's worse.
It may ricochet on knowledge on one of us.
Oh,
in fact, I wish that on all bronsexuals that all of you gonna catch a pothole today.
Oh my gosh, no, don't wish that on them. Not even on your worst enemies. Speaking of potholes, though, the light near Go Slow, not Go Slow bend, but the next bend right after that when you're going from east to west. I was on that last night and it was almost pitch dark. And the light bulbs, they look like they're supposed to be on, but they're not on. It's very dark, and it's a winding road that is very dangerous. So I hope that the powers that be are listening. Please fix that. It's like a little, like a run of lights. Maybe about 6 or 7 of them are off, but it's very dark because it's a curve. Please fix that. That's dangerous.
And as we get to the break...
the government needs to go all over this island and fix the lights on the side. There are many roads.
Yeah,
when I say
too
many,
dark.
it does not. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I'd like to send a special shout out to the Water and Sewage Department. Listen, you all need to come through Chippenham, St. Albans, and Papua Track because you all need to get pump. You all need to get pump number 5, motor number 5, because the one that you all put in last week and bragging on, that one sucks too, because the sewage still creeping out in the road, flowing freely in front of people's houses. Get it together, works. Get it together, water and sewage. Your service on these situations with the flooding and the pumps suck. Now, either you buying 40 pumps or you got 40 electricians. Wake it out, man. People cannot be walking through sewage to get to their houses.
You know, I feel bad. A lot of tourists walk in that area as well, and you can see them stepping over the water on days when it hasn't rained, and there's like a lot of water in the road. So yeah, hopefully you guys can get that sorted out for once and for all, a solution that lasts pretty soon, because it's not a good look.
to be able to get that fixed because you can't sit outside and play domino right now because it's too cold.
Right. Yeah, that's true. You're right.
But Pearly, while you watch the NBA tonight, I can send a couple things your way, all right? So you could be good, all right? The evil forces have been, hold on, the evil forces have been laid to waste, all right? You will be good to go, I promise.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of the texters. I regret that we were not able to get through all of your text messages. We have read them. Thank you so much. Always a great part of the show. Our texting talking heads. Love them.
And I love you. And we'll see you tomorrow right here on Talking Heads.
Struggling, surviving, that you gon' persevere. Yeah, ain't nobody leaving, nobody going home. Even if they turn the lights out, the show is going on. Alright, already the show goes on. Forget them flower, forget them check. You know it's Tommy, get the respect. AP is hungry, sitting close. Breeze on your lip, that's how I know. You is my person, that ain't no secret. You sharing, I might keep it. Love buckets.
8 tasty pieces of chicken, thighs and legs for just $20. Add a large side for $5. This February, love deserves a bucket. KFC, it's finger licking good.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Struggling to find your finance? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Hey, Nassau! Get ready for the new and bold Barbecue Crispy King at Burger King. 2 100% flame grilled patties stacked with that irresistible onion crunch you love. Smoky barbecue sauce, crisp bacon, and melted cheddar, all on a buttery brioche bun. Mmm, crunch, bacon, cheese, flame grilled flavor. Swing by any of Burger King's 6 Nassau locations and taste the new Barbecue Crispy King today. Burger King Nassau, where taste is on fire.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Naughty back at you with my free pick of the day, all brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. Today is Wednesday, and my free pick comes to you from the NBA. The Minnesota Timberwolves on the road taking on the Portland Trailblazers. I like the Timberwolves and the money line in this one. My free pick of the day, Timberwolves money line. Play it and win with the Island Game. The game you know, the friends you trust, and the Island Game always reminds you to play responsibly.
To the victors go the spoils. Today there is a parade for the Seattle Seahawks in the beautiful Emerald City in the Pacific Northwest, where they don't want you moving there because the traffic's terrible. They want to talk about how bad the weather is. Don't go there. Although, what a sports season it was up there, correct? Mm-hmm. With the big dumper, bringing the Mariners to so very close. The NBA, apparently, is close to announcing, it sounds like, a return of the NBA to Seattle. We'll talk about that with Brian Windhorst when he joins us shortly. But listen, the Seattle Seahawks going from, let's see what Sam Darnold can do for us here, to, Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl champion in the span of about 10 months is really unbelievable. And don't forget, this point last year, we're talking about how the Eagles are potentially dynastic, making the Super Bowl 2 out of 3 years, winning once, losing once. Jalen Hurts looking great in both of them, and they're going to run most of it back. And sure, they're losing their offensive coordinator, but how can that possibly hurt? And then we all know what happened. And now the Seattle Seahawks, we're talking about how dominant this defense was and potentially can be. But to the victors also go the losing of coaches. And the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks showed up yesterday in Las Vegas, Nevada, after my stellar NFL Network colleague Stacey Dales in her post-game interview. I don't know if that kind of went viral on the field in Santa Clara, where she basically asked Gary Kubiak about the future. She's like, "Can you confirm that you're going to the Las Vegas Raiders?" And I think he said, "Hell yeah," or something like
hell
that.
yeah.
You know, Clint Kubiak, pardon me. So Gary Kubiak, his dad, now Clint Kubiak, is the new head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. And he showed up yesterday. And what can he bring to the equation there? What he can bring to the equation is, oh, look at that photograph. I have not seen this one.
Yeah, a bunch of legends.
Okay. Look at that. They brought him. There's Mike Haynes. There's Howie Long. Oh boy, and Clint.
Wow.
Howie's like back there, you know, like a balloon. You know, like he's just floating back there. They got shoulder on Howie Long.
Yeah.
How about Jim Plunkett holding up the jersey with his left hand? John Spytek, the general manager. Charles Woodson. Rich Gannon. Okay. We see you.
Nice.
We see you.
Fun.
And Kubiak holding up the number 26, because I guess is he the 20? I was reading was the 25th head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Year, I guess.
26. Okay, good enough. But
Fred Biletnikoff, but he's 25.
There you go. So he's the 25th head coach. Can bring is the hope that he is the guy that they were looking for last year in Ben Johnson, the young up-and-coming coordinator on the offensive side of the ball who they can attach to a quarterback of the future with them having the first overall choice. A lot of hope that they can build this roster around whoever they draft first overall. It does appear to be Fernando Mendoza on everybody's minds as we head to the Combine. By the way, 2 weeks from today, we'll be in our second show at the Combine from the Convention Center in downtown Indianapolis. And the day before, everyone gets out there. And 2 Saturdays from now, Fernando Mendoza will be out there basically saying, "I'm not throwing." But we hope that he will throw on NFL Network. I shouldn't speak it into existence.
He seems too nice to turn down.
This cheddar is still cheddar at the end of the day, and usually first overall selections don't go out there and throw it when he basically can say, "Did you see what I did? Look at the tape. Look at me with my arms bruised and bleeding, jumping for the end zone and for Curt Cignetti and making Indiana a national champion, an undefeated one at that, unlike Ohio State." I added that last part. And so, at any rate, this is what he can bring, hope, to a franchise. If you wouldn't mind putting that photograph up one more time of him, helped put the 3 trophies that they have out there in front of him. Lombardi trophies. I don't know which is which, but the most recent trophy on the screen for the Raiders organization is 4 years older than their 38-year-old head coach. Super Bowl 18 was the most recent trophy.
Was at that game.
Were you really, Mike?
As a young kid.
Hey.
My brother Anthony.
I'm glad that you said that you were a young kid, because I wouldn't have guessed.
First Super Bowl I ever went to.
Super Bowl 18.
Wow. You never told us that.
Yeah, that's cool, Mike.
As Cooper might say, fun fact. I did not know that.
That was a little fun fact.
That's how long it's been. The 38-year-old head coach is 4 years younger than their most recent Lombardi trophy. And one other thing that he can bring is, from all accounts, Clint Kubiak is a smart cookie. And the reason why I'm saying that is not only because I've heard that, never met him, I don't think.
Yet,
right. But he's clearly smart because he did what I've counseled him to do from the seat. First things first is call Max Crosby and say, "What's up?" First order of business is call the best player on the team, the most important player on the team, the one guy who just oozes out of his pores, Raider. The autumn wind. He's the pirate in that autumn wind, and he is outstanding. And I will also say this, too. I voted for him as a first-team All-Pro guy. He didn't make it. Kind of was off kilter on that, I guess, with the rest of my voting group. He is awesome. He is great. And if you want to win football games and stand up what Clint Kubiak can cook up offensively, you need him. Just look at what we just saw in Seattle. Okay? The defense. You did lose the offensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator happens to be the coach, it appears, in Seattle. And so, first order of business, he calls Max Crosby, but he did one better. Apparently, they met for coffee. Hit it.
You know, I got to drink a cup of coffee with Max this morning. Love talking ball with him, and you know, look forward to continuing those conversations. I think he was the first one in here this morning working out, so that fired me up. We want him to be a part of our success going forward. And you know, there's no doubt about that. And you know, he's one of the best players in the NFL. So that's a no-brainer to get to work with Max and to see him continue to have success with this organization.
Damn straight, man. You'd say that again. So 2 things that I picked up. Had a coffee with him. Now, he also said he was the first guy in the building working out. So if he says he doesn't want anything to do with the Raiders anymore, is he there physically working out?
Well, free gym membership.
I guess. I guess you'll do anything for a free gym membership.
Yeah. Although I don't think he would have a problem affording
No, I saw. He probably's got something in his house. Doesn't he have a basketball court in his house? I'd imagine there must be some gym equipment.
Yeah, you're
right.
The amount of scratch he's getting.
So the rumor is he's already told them, I want nothing to do with you anymore. He would stay home, work out there, but he's in the building. And then secondly, is there like a coffee machine there in the Raiders facility? You like your coffee silver and black?
I know. A little espresso.
You know what I mean? Yeah. What do we got? Any sugar in there? How many lumps?
We're doing another Pete Puma reference.
That's a Looney Tunes reference. Is the day is long, sir. You're picking up what I'm putting down, and awesome. Great way to do it. Understated. I want to work with him 100%. If there's any bridge to be mended or any gaps that need to be bridged, any bridges, he should be building it to that guy and basically saying, great, whatever happened before, even if it was the general manager telling you you're not playing at the end of last season and you're so lion-hearted that you are demanding to play even though you are not fully healthy in games that don't matter anymore. And the fact that you didn't play would kind of help us maybe get that first overall pick. Yeah, let's mend fences here. Great idea. Oh, and you know it's another great idea? Just to get Tom Brady's number when you can.
Yeah.
Get it?
Really excited to work with Tom, and you know, he made the mistake of giving me his cell phone number, so he might wish he never did that because I'm gonna be calling him a lot. What I'm